From going undercover, to story times, and listening to conversations. A lot of them. Hello, Magi here, and welcome back to another episode of Interesting Touhou Facts. The series where I talk about facts from Touhou that I find either fun, unusual, or simply interesting. So without further ado, let's begin the Interesting Touhou Facts number 62. Number 5. When you think of werewolves, what do you think of? Vicious beasts that will annihilate their foes? A history teacher teaching in a village? Both are acceptable. Since we're on the topic of werewolves, let's talk about one of them, Kagero. It's said that she has a calmer demeanor than one would expect from a werewolf. That's good, meaning she won't tear out your throat in 2.5 seconds. Or she won't be stripping every time she's in a scene in a movie. Like Kane in Were Hakutaku transformation, Kagero acquires some characteristics of a wolf during a full moon, but she also has the ability to turn into an actual wolf, as demonstrated during her spell cards. To be exact, she is a were-Honshu wolf. Honshu wolf is a species of wolf that has gone extinct in the outside world. It seems that these wolves were extinct in 1905, and in terms of time-wise, it would make sense for Kagero to show up. So long as you don't show up in a movie, Kagero, especially with vampires in it, I'll be a happy Magi. Number 4. Some of you guys may like to party and some do not. I enjoy it, usually after I'm done all the cooking for my friends and family anyway. So in Waldenhorn Hermit chapter 16, there was a party, like usual, and Kazin brought some sake for people to drink. She brought some pretty kick-ass sake which everyone enjoyed. But the main kicker was that people started to drink sake out of a box called the Ibaraki box of 100 medicine. Drinking the sake from it can cure illness and heal injuries. So you now have a legitimate reason in drinking alcohol and people can't bitch that it's bad for you. But it gets even better. If you're in perfect health, it can grant you superhuman strength. Is there no downsides to this box? Well, there actually is, unfortunately. If you drink it, your personality and your body becomes an Oni. So the trade-off is that to become super healthy and strong, you just act like a jackass and have an Oni's body. To be honest, I imagine a few people still drinking it regardless of that. Number 3. So the human village, as the name implies, is a village where humans live. You can probably count in dogs, cats, farm animals, and whatnot, but majority of the residents will be human. Now there's one person who's living in the village who does not fit any of the category. Sekibunki is a Rokuro Kubi living undercover as a human in the village. At this point, some of you guys may be saying, how the bloody hell is Sekibunki pulling that shit off? Well, the thing is, Rokuro Kubi look almost exactly like humans. The only difference is the neck. Now there are two kinds of Rokuro Kubi, one whose neck stretches and one whose heads come off and fly around freely. Now Sekibunki is kinda awkward as she's able to do both. Many of her spell cards has her head flying about while another spell card showcases her long neck. Regardless of the type she is, if you recall her character design, she's got a red and blue capelet that covers part of her face, which could be a good reason why people aren't freaking the fuck out that a yokai is living among them. Either way, I'd rather not be there when her cover is blown. Number 2. So in Forbidden Scrollery, there's a pretty cool setup with Kozuzu where she reads books to children once a week. So in chapter 5.5, Kozuzu is reading a fairy tale to the kids. In this fairy tale, we can clearly see the Minirin crew are joining in for the story as actors of sorts. Basically, it's a story about music with tanuki and death. Sounds about right. Not only that, Byakuren brought in a few girls when it came to the performance. A little punk band and Ghostly Sisters Orchestra to help out. While this is no doubt a fun little story, there's actually another time when the Miyurin crew becomes actors again. In chapter 16, the story is about a girl passing away and the family is seeing her ghost. After trying to get help from other people and failing, they turn to a priest, played by yours truly, Byakuren. Once Byakuren's done her job, you can clearly see the Miyurin crew proud of Byakuren's performance. When it comes to acting, we all know who to call for when you truly need a dynamic actor such as Byakuren. Number 1. So for our last fact, let's talk about Miko. So in episode 58, I talked about how Miko went full dumbass on Yomu because Miko thought Yomu was a hermit, even though she clearly stated she wasn't. The reason it happened because Yomu lacked 2 desires, attachment to life and envy of death. So in this fact, we're going to be looking at Miko's ability. She's able to listen to 10 people's conversation at the same time. Now you may be thinking, what the fuck? 10 conversations? What, she's got 10 pairs of ears or something? Aside from the craziness, I stated Prince Shotoku, according to legend, was so smart that he could understand 10 people questioning him at once and reply to each of them with perfect answers. I could barely do that with 1 person, let alone 10! This is pointed out by her name, Toyo Satomimi. Because of this ability, Miko's ears are extremely sensitive, leading her to wear earmuffs. Well, that explains that. Miko, who is from a high noble family, has from a young age heard many grumbles from government officials around her. Although one would think that nobody is usually able to understand such government officials, she understood all of it, and she was able to give precise instructions to them. The aforementioned thus became a rumor that spread throughout society, and thus she gained tremendous popularity as a saint. In addition to this ability, where she's gained the power of faith along a long sleep, gained the ability to hear other people's desires. By listening to the other's 10 desires simultaneously, she's got insight into the other's true nature, personality, and motives, and thus is able to know everything about the other person, although originally such an act wasn't possible before. This is as pointed out in the game's title, 10 Desires. How convenient. It's definitely an upgrade, that's for sure. However, this ability is not all powerful, since she has trouble analyzing those who inherently lack 1 or more of the 10 desires. In the case of Yomu, who I've mentioned earlier. Not only can she not understand Yomu, she's not able to read Koishi either. On a related note, despite the fact that she has this ability, she fundamentally does not listen to other people's conversation. It is likely by hearing the other's desires, it would seem that she would hear others' conversation with the belief that she could understand the others already, and that the content and flow of the conversation has already been self-completed. A mini version of Satori's ability, if you will. Thus, on stage 6 of 10 Desires, the moment the main characters met with her, by her ability she gained understanding and without consent or refusal progressed the conversation. She understood Reimu, Marissa, and Sane as she convinced them, but talked to Yomu based completely on a misunderstanding. Simply put, 9 out of 10 times Miko will be able to understand a person. The exception to the rules are half phantoms and half humans, as they're Miko's kryptonite from the sounds of it. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Which facts were your favorite? Would you like to drink some sake from the Ibaraki box? Would you love to see Byakuren in a movie? Or do you ever want to have the ability to listen to 10 people's conversation? Like always, if you guys enjoyed this episode, please give it a like and subscribe, or else Byakuren might not get her chance on the big screen. Either way, this is Magi, and thanks again for watching.